Today I will show you how to make a chicken and rice dish that has a lot of protein because of this absolute banger of a sauce. First off, I will start making the rice, put a pot on a scale and add in 1 serving of rice. Jasmine rice will work best, but any other type of rice will work as well. I always make about 60 grams of dry rice per serving. Then add in 150 grams of cold water, a small pinch of salt, and optionally but highly recommended lemongrass. You can find lemongrass and Ace in grocery stores. It adds a very nice lemon taste to the rice without any sour aftertaste like lemon juice. I will smash it a couple of times to release more flavor, cut it into pieces and then add it to the pot of rice. Now heat it up, and as soon as it starts to boil, turn the heat down to low, close the lid and let it simmer for about 12 to 15 minutes. Next is the protein source, and I will use a chicken breast for this recipe, which weighs about 200 grams. If you take a closer look, you will see that every chicken breast has a very thin side and then becomes bigger and bigger towards the other end. That is the reason why I never grill or air fry chicken breast in this shape. If you do that, you will end up with either a completely dry and overcooked chicken breast or the thicker side still raw. So to avoid that, here's what you can do. Take a Ziploc bag or any kind of plastic bag, put the chicken breast in, and now take anything heavy that you have on hand. A pot works perfectly for this. Now I'll flatten the chicken, focusing on the thicker side for about a minute. The goal here is to flatten it out until I get an evenly thick piece of meat, so I can make sure to cook it evenly and have a juicy piece of chicken. Please always do this before cooking chicken in one piece. You will have a much better experience. Next is seasoning, and I will start by adding a pinch of salt on both sides, which is about a 1/4 teaspoon. Then I will add garlic powder, again a 1/4 teaspoon on both sides of the chicken, and finally I will also add a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika on both sides. You can also try different kinds of spices like cayenne pepper, oregano or turmeric. A lot of things work here. Next are the vegetables, and I will use a red bell pepper, a carrot and a small onion. I will chop up the vegetables into smaller pieces. No need to be perfect here because they will be added to the sauce later on. I will cut the pepper into planks and then into smaller pieces, and do the same with the carrot and the onion. And then it's time to cook. But before that, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, LMNT, with their newly released flavor grapefruit salt that really tastes great. LMNT is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. That means lots of salt with no sugar. LMNT is formulated to help anyone with their electrolyte needs and is perfectly suited to folks following a keto, low carb or paleo diet. It contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium and 60 milligrams of magnesium. When you sweat, the primary electrolyte lost is sodium. Athletes can lose up to 7 grams per day. When sodium isn't replaced, it's common to experience muscle cramps and fatigue. I've personally been using this for over a month now and really love it, especially for my cardio having sessions where I sweat a lot. You will receive a free sample pack with any purchase that you buy it through my link, and if you don't like it, LMNT will give you your money back, no questions asked. So head to drinklmnt.com/Felu and get your free sample pack with any purchase. Thank you, LMNT. Okay, heat up a pan to medium heat, add in a touch of oil and then add the vegetable with a small pinch of salt. The salt will help cook the vegetables faster. From now on, just slowly fry them, stirring occasionally until the onions turn translucent and start to caramelize, and the carrot and the pepper get some brown spots. This will add a ton of flavor to the sauce. In total, this step took me about 5 to 7 minutes until they look like this. Now remove the vegetables from the pan, add in another touch of oil, and now go in with the chicken breast, still on medium heat. I like to fry my chicken for about 1 minute on each side before flipping it, and I do that until it's cooked through and has a nice brown color on the outside. Also, I will close the lid so the heats get trapped inside and helps the chicken cook a bit faster. How can you be sure if the chicken is cooked through? Well, the best way to achieve juicy chicken is by using a food thermometer. This costs about 10 to 15 bucks and will make a huge difference in a lot of dishes. I will frequently check the inside of the chicken until it has reached around 74 degrees Celsius or 165 F. This is a safe temperature for chicken that still has a juicy result. Now, while you grill the chicken, I will prepare the sauce. You will need a blender or food processor for this. Place it on a scale and start with 100 grams of 1% fat cottage cheese. Cottage cheese is a ridiculously good protein sauce with 13 grams of protein for 100 grams of cheese. Don't worry if you don't like the taste, this sauce fixes that problem. Next is one of my all-time favorites, and it's gochujang. This is a fermented chili paste that has a ton of umami flavor. It's quite high in calories, but because it's so strong in flavor, you only need to add about 10 grams or a teaspoon, and that is enough. Next is 5 grams of honey to add some sweetness, and then 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, freshly ground bell pepper, and lastly I will also add in all of the vegetables that I cooked before. Close the blender and mix everything for about 60 seconds on high until it turns into a creamy and spicy orange sauce. You absolutely need to try this, it's incredible and you could even eat this as a soup. absolutely phenomenal. Alright, at this stage the rice should be done. Remove the lemongrass if you used it, place the rice on a plate, then add our beautiful grilled chicken, and lastly top it with our sauce. This dish is spicy, savory and full of umami flavors. It has everything you could want in a meal. The entire dish comes in at 665 calories, 81 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fat and 63 grams of protein. If you like this recipe, you need to check out my cookbook. Low calorie, high protein recipes that will help you lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Finally, a diet that works. From breakfast to lunch to dessert, everything you need is in this book. And the best part is that I will constantly be updating the book and you will receive every update for free once you've purchased the book. It's a lifetime investment into your health for $50, so in my honest opinion, that's an absolute no-brainer. The link is in the description.